Hi, welcome to Post TV live from NAB 2013. I am here today with the guys from Post Chat. I'm going to let them introduce themselves. We'll start here.
My name is Tej Babra.
I'm Jesse Averna.
And I'm Gordon Burkell.
For those of you who don't know Post Chat, well, one of you guys, it happens Wednesday evenings from 9 until 10 Eastern Time, correct?
Correct.
Can you guys, first, why don't you tell me a little bit about what you guys do for a living and how you came up with Post Chat?
Sure. I'm an editor out of Toronto, Canada, and essentially what we did is we teamed up together to bring us Post Chat, which is a large community-based thing for Twitter. And it happens every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. And we discuss almost everything. We have different topics every week. And it helps bring the post community together to discuss post-production stuff.
Yeah. Okay, well, Jesse, you tell us.
That's a great answer. You want the day job?
Yeah.
I cut Sesame Street. Yeah. Well, this is a different company now, but yeah.
Sorry.
But I still love it.
It's a Muppet.
Yes. So, perfect answer. Post Chat. If you put a little hashtag in front of a word on Twitter, it becomes searchable, and there's different applications that will aggregate it. So, for 1 hour a week, post professionals come together, and at the end of everything they tweet, they add that hashtag, and it'll aggregate as a conversation. So you can follow it like a chat. And so we have different guests. Yeah, we have different topics, and yeah, it's just a time for the world of Post Weekly to come together and educate each other, share things, learn things, and get help. Yeah.
Gordon?
I'll take this so you don't hit me in the face with it again. I'm Gordon Burkell, and I have a couple jobs. So I teach part-time at a university, film editing, and I occasionally edit projects, and I run AOTG.com.
So how did you guys, first of all, find each other? Did you find each other over Twitter, just starting a conversation, and then you said, hey, this would be a good idea, and something that you've done?
I think Jesse was following Tej and I around.
So you were stalking them?
Yeah,
and
they were stalking us, and
I did start a group called it's like a Tej fan club, but you keep going. Yeah.
I wasn't allowed in, so yeah. No, we basically met through the internet. I think you guys both came to AOTG for stuff, and then you guys, started using Twitter. So I followed you guys into Twitter, and we just got together.
I have to give a shout out to Script Chat. It's another group that does the same thing we're doing. I was asked to be a part of a Script Chat, which is obviously writers for TV and film, and they wanted to talk to post professionals. So I went on their show, and I was like, this is awesome. And so I asked them how they did it, and they got us started. Yeah.
Well, I had the pleasure of being on one of the Post Chats, and it was a ton of fun. And it goes really quick, because once people start asking questions, well, somebody's answering a question that happened, a couple of seconds ago, but it gets the adrenaline going. And what's really cool is that a lot of conversation happens, and you can learn a lot. And it's just the power of Twitter. I completely believe in it, and it's just a lot of fun. So how many people do you estimate join the conversation every Wednesday?
It varies depending on our topics and people's availability, because obviously we're all editors and we're cutting all the time. But it can we've had up to 400 people at any given moment discussing. So that's why the feed goes so quickly, and it's hard to keep up. But it works really well because the Post Chat has kind of grown out of the Wednesdays as well. So oftentimes, if you're in trouble, you're busy cutting, you're stuck on a question, a lot of people say, hey, Post Chat community, and they use the hashtag, can you give me a hand with this? And you'll get a response within seconds.
It's a perfect render break, too.
Yeah, it's a perfect render break, yeah.
So it's almost like tech services for people.
Yeah.
So you share.
Yeah, literally. Instead of now searching different blogs and websites for information that someone's hopefully already answered, you can go straight to Twitter and ask people. You can ask actual humans, and they'll humans. Yeah, and I mean, editors are an amazing group that very much wants to help each other, wants to keep learning, and I mean, most responses are close to instantaneous when people are stuck. Yeah.
talk about, I don't know, what do you think is one of the most interesting topics? What do you get most feedback on?
No,
Yeah?
that's actually a very good question. We get a lot of feedback on. I find that the most questions that we get, like the most feedback and the most interactivity, is when we discuss things like story, architecture, anything like that talks about the story more than when we talk about tech.
Right.
And I find that really pushes it, and we have a really great chat that night.
That's true. Yeah. And we did one on thank you. And on families, on how to manage having a family life.
Oh, that's kind of neat.
As well as being a post professional. That was a big one.
So
sorry, I was going to say it also depends on who's there too, because we've had editors who are really well known come on, and that brings people in because they just want to ask, how'd you cut that, or how'd you do this, effect, or what have you.
Well, what's great is that you all sort of tweet out who's going to be on, and then that gets retweeted, and you're very good about retweeting others. So in terms of, have you done any research on what works and what doesn't work, and how to retweet, and what to say, and what to put in there? Have you done any of that? Or is it just sort of you've done it and saw what worked and what didn't?
I've done my own personal stuff, but not with post chat.
Yeah. I mean, it's been very organic. We all were a part of the Twitter community before this happened, post chat, and it's kind of. I mean, I don't even know if there was growing pains. We just it already felt natural.
Yeah, it was. We had most of the people that we were already talking to were part of our community anyways, but it was very difficult to keep track of what we were saying.
Right.
So it kind of post chat kind of like naturally, organically just developed, and it hit the ground running.
Right.
So it was really.
You're right. My favorite part about post chat is that it's an uninterrupted chat with either some professional or on a topic, but everyone knows this time is dedicated to getting together. So that cuts down on the noise. We get a
right, and then being in the time slot that we picked of 9 p.m. it allows us people on the eastern side and people on the west, because they kind of wrap up their edit day by then, to participate.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay. Hashtag post chat.
Well, we have just a couple of minutes. So, do you each want to talk about? Have you had a chance to sort of walk around and see what's new, what's cool? We have about 3 minutes.
I've had a little bit to walk around. I did some stuff with AJ and New Tech and some of that stuff. And I got to see Adobe and obviously Avid, which had some great stuff out.
Yeah, I got to walk around the other day. Jesse and I took a little trip around, and I got to see some really nice stuff. Blackmagic had some really cool stuff to show. I mean, we all know they introduced a new camera, but Resolve 10 looks great.
Yeah.
They've added an online editor, which is kind of neat.
Right.
So
and it's a legit editor.
It's like a legit editor, and that is fantastic.
It's nice. Yeah.
Stopped over at the Tiffin booth to see what kind of new filters they've got for their post-production side. And post this year has been really, really good. The post floor South Hall, really fantastic.
Yeah. And I have to give a shout out to Avid. They're the reason we got out here. So they teamed up with us, and we've been doing some interviews with them. And
so every day at their booth, you guys have been doing sort of like this,
right?
With less massaging or more massaging.
Lots of goofing around.
Lots of It's
They basically said have fun and make sure people get the information and make sure it's a fun environment for people.
They essentially allowed us to be ourselves,
right?
Which was fantastic. So it allowed us to be our own community, and be who we are on Twitter. So
right.
They were fantastic about that.
Because you can see tech, but
yeah,
it's fun. My favorite thing is seeing the people.
Yeah.
Exactly. All I see is avatars and tweets, and now I get to put a face to that.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. Well, guys, I know you're busy, and I appreciate you coming down and sitting here and having some fun with us.
Yeah.
And I'll let you go back and do your thing. We're going to sign off for the moment, and we'll be back very shortly with some more stuff. Take care.